Hello guys and welcome. My name is Ifeoma Judith and today I will show you guys how to make this fitted crop top. If this is something you're interested in, please keep watching. Firstly, I'm going to start by drawing a straight line. This is going to serve as my starting line or my shoulder line. Then the next measurement I'm going to be taking is my shoulder to bust measurement. And my shoulder to bust measurement is 11 inches. So I'll go ahead and mark 11 inches. And I'll rule a straight line. The next measurement I'll be taking is my shoulder to under bust measurement. My shoulder to under bust is 15 inches. You can get your under bust measurement by adding 4 inches to your shoulder to bust measurement. And I'm going to go ahead and rule a straight line. The next measurement I'll be taking is my shoulder to my waistline plus 2 inches. So my shoulder to my waistline is 18 inches plus 2 inches, that is 20 inches, and I went ahead and marked it and I ruled a straight line. So I'm labeling my vertical measurement. This is my starting point, this is my bust, this is my under bust, and my waistline and folding allowance. So for my neckline, I'll be going by 3 inches wide and 3 inches depth like so, and I'm going to go ahead and create a square. So now that I've created a square, I'm just using my ruler to just join the marked dots together. Then I'm going to use my marker and create a curve like so. So the next measurement I'll be taking is my shoulder measurement divided by 2. My shoulder measurement is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. I marked 8 plus half an inch for sewing allowance, so I added half an inch. Next, I'll be going down by 1 inch from my starting line. Then with my ruler, I'm going to connect it to my neckline. This is going to serve as my shoulder slope. Then from that 1 inches that we went down, I'm going to go down and mark my armhole length. So my armhole length is 8 inches and I went ahead and drew a straight line. So from that 8 inches line, I went ahead and drew a straight vertical line. Next, we go to our bust point. Our bust round divided by 4. My bust is 38. 38 divided by 4 is 9.5 and I marked. Next is my under bust divided by 4. My under bust is 32. 32 divided by 4 is 8 and I marked. And now I'll mark my waist round divided by 4. My waist round is 33 divided by 4, 8.5 and I marked. So on my armhole length, I marked the center, which is 4 inches, and I went in by half an inch like so. Then from the beginning of my armhole length, I'm going to go ahead and connect it to that half an inch that I went in. And I'll go ahead and create my armhole curve, making sure that my line meets the other line at the armhole length. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and connect my bust measurement to my under bust and to my waistline. After I was done, I went ahead and marked extra 2 inches on my bust down to my under bust and down to my waistline. This is going to serve as my seam allowance. Remember, I'll be taking half inches from that 2 inches for my dart line. Then from that armhole length, I'm going to go ahead and connect it straight down like you're seeing. Then after I was done, I'm going to go ahead with my scissors and cut off the pattern like so. So I'm cutting off the neck, I'm cutting down the shoulder line. Then on that armhole, I'm not going to cut the inside. I'm going to just cut from that original line and cut my curve like so. And this is going to be my front piece. So now I'm going to go ahead for my back piece. I'll draw a straight line as usual like so. And from the edge of my pattern paper, I'm going to be going in by 2 inches straight down. So I went down with my ruler and connect the lines like so. So after I was done connecting, I'm going to go ahead and place my front pattern paper after that line that I drew, and I used my safety pin to pin it down. So I went and marked where my neckline width will start from, which is the same with the front piece. And from my starting point, I went down by 1.5 inches and I marked. So after I was done with my ruler, I went ahead and connect these lines like so. So now that I'm done connecting the lines, I'm going to go ahead and create a C curve like so. Here I am creating my C curve neckline like so, and this neckline is going to be our back piece neckline like so. So after I am done creating it, I'm going to go ahead and just trace down the shape like so. So here I'm just going to cut off the new neckline, that is our back piece neckline, and I'm going to go ahead and cut off my armhole like so. So after I was done, I'm going to remove my safety pin to separate the back piece from the front piece. Now remember that 1/2 inch that we went in on the armhole of the front piece, so we are going to go ahead and cut it off. This is going to be our new armhole for the front piece. Now I'm going to go ahead and work with my back piece. So at my zipper, I'm going to go ahead and measure the length, and I'll go ahead and mark the center of whatever I get. So with my ruler, I'm just ruling a straight line to trace out the center wear. Next, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch at the center. Then I'm going to connect from the beginning of my zipper. I'm going to connect it to the 1/2 inch, then connect it down to the ending of my zipper like so, creating a curve. So now at the end of my zipper allowance like so, I'm going to come up by 1 inch and I'm going to connect it to the waistline. So with my ruler, I'm going to go ahead and connect it, creating a curve like so. So now that I'm done, I'll use my scissors and cut off those curves that I have created. So I'm cutting off the zipper allowance curve and the waistline curve like so, and we're going to get something like this. And I went ahead and labeled it my zipper allowance. So for the cutting of the fabric, I folded my fabric into 2 like so, and I placed my front pattern on it like this, and I went ahead and pinned it down to avoid the pattern paper from moving around. Now that I'm done pinning it down, I'm going to go ahead and trace out the pattern on my fabric like so. So with my scissors, I'm going to go ahead and trace out the pattern like so. Now we are done cutting the front piece. So for the back, we're going to go ahead and fold our fabric into 2 like so, and we're going to place our pattern at the edge of the fabric like so. That is, the zipper allowance will be at the edge of the fabric like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and pin down the pattern on my fabric with my office pin. So now that I'm done, I'm going to go ahead with my scissors and trace out the pattern on my fabric like so. So here I'm just opening up my zipper allowance like so. So now that I'm done, I'm going to go ahead now and cut off the fabric I'll be using to turn my neckline. So I folded my fabric into 2 like so, and I'm going to go ahead and trace out the neckline like so. Then I went in few inches on the shoulder line and I created my curve like so. After that, I divided my fabric into 2, one for the left and one for the right, since it's the back piece we are working with. So now I'm just removing my pins and separating the left side and the right side of the back piece. So now I'm going to place my fabric bias I'll be using to turn the neckline. So the right side facing the right side is how I placed it, and I went ahead and pinned them together. It's good to pin your fabrics together to avoid the fabrics from moving around, and it makes your work smooth. So I'm going to go ahead and sew 1/2 inch together like so, and I'm going to turn the piece together. So now I'm going to take my front piece like so, and I'm going to go ahead and fold in the fabric I'll be using to turn my front piece neckline. And with my scissors, I'm going to go ahead and trace out the neckline. And as we did on the back piece, you're going to go in few inches on the shoulder line, and I'm going to go ahead and create my curve like so. So you can determine how big you want your curve to be or how small you want your curve to be. So here I went ahead and removed my pins, and I'm going to open up my front piece like so. So now that I've opened up my front piece, I'm going to go ahead and place my fabric bias right side facing the right side like so, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it down. Then after pinning it down, I'm going to go ahead and sew 1/2 inch all around, then turn it. So I've gone ahead and sewed all around. Then I folded it in. As you can see, I've sewed it all around and folded the rough edges like so. So as you can see, I did it for the front piece and the left and the right side of the back piece. As you can see, after I turned it, I folded in the rough edges like so. So now this is the left and the right side of my back piece. I'm just showing you how neat and clean the neckline is. So you're going to cut off any excesses that you have. So right side facing the right side, I'm going to place one of the back piece on top of the other. And I'm going to sew on that zipper allowance. So remember that we gave 2 inches for zipper allowance. And I'm going to go ahead and remark that 2 inches that we gave for zipper allowance. And with my chalk, I'm going to go ahead and connect the dots together. And I'm going to run a stitch on that straight line with my sewing machine. So now that I'm done, as you can see, I went ahead and run a stitch like so to just hold the 2 back pieces together. Now the next thing I'm going to do is right side facing the right side. I'm going to place my front piece on my back piece like so, and I'm going to sew 1/2 inch on the shoulder slope like so. So I'll sew 1/2 inch on both sides. So now I'm done sewing 1/2 inch on the both shoulders. The next thing I'm going to do is to sew my darts. So I'm taking the front piece and I'm going to fold it into 2 like this. And now that I've folded it into 2 equal parts, so from that middle line or the center line, I'm going to measure my nipple to nipple divided by 2, and whatever I get, I'm going to mark and create a notch. So my nipple to nipple here is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I notched it at 4 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my dart on the back piece like so. So I'm going to place my back piece on my table like this, and from that zipper line I'm going to measure 4 inches on both sides. So I'm going to mark 4 inches on the right hand side and 4 inches on the left side, and I'll go ahead and create a notch on the both sides that I've marked. And after that, I'll go ahead and sew my darts on the 4 places that I've notched. So this is how to sew a dart. You fold the place that you notched into 2 like so, and you're going to place it on your sewing machine. And after that, you're going to now measure how long you want your dart to be. So here I'm making use of 6 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead and mark where that 6 inches length is going to be. Now that I've marked it, from 1/2 inch, I'm going to go ahead and create a slanted slope like so, and I'm going to stop at that 6 inches that I marked. So as you can see, I started sewing my dart from 1/2 inch, then I started slanting it down till I've gotten to that 6 inches that I marked, creating a slope. And as you can see, our dart is created. And this is how the front is going to look like. So I've gone ahead and created that on the 4 places that I notched, 2 at the front and 2 at the back. So the next thing now I'm going to do is to go ahead and join my side seam allowance. Now, as you can see, I've gone ahead and joined my seam allowance. So remember, my seam allowance is supposed to be 2 inches, but because of the dart we created, my seam allowance became 1.5 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do is to loosen up that stitch that I made at the zipper part. So as you can see, I've gone ahead and loosened it up, and as you can see, that line that is being created, that is where our zipper is going to go. But before we fix our zipper, we're going to go ahead and fold up the edge of our blouse all around. So after that, we will now go ahead and fix our zip. As you can see, I've gone ahead and folded the edge of my blouse and I fixed my zip. So because my zip was too long, that was why I cut my zip and folded it like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and cut my sleeve. So I'll be cutting my sleeve on fold. So my sleeve is 9 inches long plus 2 inches for folding allowance, so I marked 11 inches. So my sleeve hem is 15 inches. 15 divided by 2, 7.5, and I marked 7.5 plus 1.5 inches for sewing allowance, that is 9 inches, and I marked. I went ahead and created my armhole curve and connect it to the sleeve length like so. So I'll be dropping a very detailed tutorial on how to create your sleeve. So for now, I'm using the freehand method. So guys, for a little bit break in transmission, if you have gotten to this part of this video, please like, comment, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you're a subscriber, thank you very much and God bless you. And also, please, you can share to your friends and family and anybody you think my videos is going to be helpful to. So now I went ahead and opened up my sleeve and I'll be folding in my seam allowance. So remember, my seam allowance, I gave 2 inches, but I went ahead and folded 1.5 inches for the seam allowance. Then the remaining ½ inch seam allowance will be taken at the armhole when joining the sleeve to the top. So before that, I'm going to go ahead now and fold my sleeve into 2 like so. So I've gone ahead and fold the 2 sleeves into 2. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the middle of my armhole and I'm going to notch it. So here I'm notching the middle part or the center part of my armhole on the both sleeves. So after I was done, I'm going to go ahead now and measure the full armhole that I have. So remember, the armhole I'm working with is 8 inches. So from the center, I'm going to mark where my 8 inches length stops. Then remember that my sleeve hem unfold is 7.5. So I went ahead and marked 7.5. So after that, I'm going to just connect the line straight to that my armhole. So I'm going to sew on that line. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same method on the second sleeve. So as you can see from the middle, I'm going to mark where my 8 inches armhole length is going to stop and I'll mark it. Then I'll also measure where my sleeve hem unfold is going to stop, that is 7.5, and I marked 7.5. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect the lines together. Then I'm going to go ahead and sew on it. So the next thing we are going to do is fixing of the sleeve on the top. So this is how my top is looking like. Remember that ½ inch that we removed at the armhole of the front piece, that is it. So here is my sleeves. I've gone ahead and sewed down that line. So now I'll just turn my sleeve over. Then this is the right side, the side that is going to be outside. The right side facing the right side. Remember that place that I notched? I'm going to place it on the shoulder line and I'm going to sew round. Also, make sure that the down part of the armhole of the sleeve is meeting the down part of the armhole of the blouse. I hope you're understanding. So you can use your pin to secure the 2 sides together before going to your sewing machine to sew all around. So remember, the notched part or the middle part of our armhole on the sleeve is going to be on the shoulder slope, that shoulder slope of our top. So you're going to make sure that it's joining each other and you're going to sew all around by ½ inch. So I'm going to repeat the same again for the other sleeve. So like I said, the notched part of our armhole sleeve is going to meet the shoulder slope like so. And the down part of the armhole of the sleeve will meet the down part of the armhole of the top. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my sleeve, making sure that the right side of my sleeve meets the right side of my top. And I'm going to go ahead, like I did previously, pin down the notched part of my sleeve to the shoulder slope of my top. And I'm going to pin the down part also. And I'm going to sew all around. So before that, I'm going to close that loose stitch. And as you can see, I've gone ahead and fixed my sleeves. I sewed all around by ½ inch. And this is what you're going to be getting, so you can weave those rough edges. So I'll just turn over the top for you to see how the outside is going to look like. As you can see, the back of the top is looking clean and neat, and also this is how the front is also looking like, very clean and neat. And this is me trying it on a very cute little top. And as you can see at the back, there's no zip bulging. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye for now.